Hello, this is Manny Marino with Do Woodson out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. So this video, I'll spend the next few minutes kind of walking you through the assembly process on this chair, and I wanted to talk to you about kind of the maintenance, the stains that I use, and just kind of overall just walk you through the entire assembly process. So first and foremost, I want to thank Go Shannon. Thank you so much for the find on Etsy. I really appreciate you reaching out to me and ordering the chair for Peter. And my understanding that Ken is going to be putting this chair together. So again, I'll spend the next few minutes just walking you through the whole process, and pretty basic, pretty easy. But first and foremost, let me just kind of talk about the first part of the chair. So the engraving, Peter Ward Sensei. Um, and then so that's laser engraved, right? And then it's natural. So we left that kind of natural look. This my logo always goes on the front of the chair, and then it's for Peter Ward, Go Bucks. It's really probably tough to see in the video, but there you go. So there's my brand, my logo. The second part I'll talk about is this inlay. So this is laser engraved, color filled with the state colors. The Ohio State is an inlay from the bottom half of the chair. So an inlay is cut from the same wood, then put back kind of like a puzzle. So laser engrave is fun, and then color filled to match. So that was kind of a fun thing to do. The the stain that I use for the entire chair is called a cherry stain, right? With the exception of the base underneath the state, that's actually called colonial maple, and then let that dry, and then I went over it with a cherry, but still a little bit of a brown, more of a brown tone, or a lighter brown tone than the top half. And what's interesting about just cherry, sometimes it acts a little bit different. All of this entire chair is made out of red wood cedar, and so cedar's great for outdoor, just outdoor, right? Most furniture that's made out of wood needs to be out of cedar because it repels water, it doesn't rot or retain water. And cedar itself can sit out in hot sun all day, and it repels heat, so it's not hot to the touch. Um, this chair is going to Ohio, of course, so I do recommend in the winter, if it's going to be outside, to cover it, or put it away so it's not always wet with snow. Um, Other than that, man, I think once a year you may have to just add a light coat of cherry stain, and chair will come back to life. So first and foremost, okay, so let's talk about the assembly process, and it's gonna walk you through each step and before I take it apart. But so the first thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna want to get your base. So starting on a flat surface, and here's an example, is you're going to do your 2x6s, right? So these are the base of the chair, 2x6 with a 2x6 spacer that's in between. So start with your front board with the Peter Ward board, of course, and then just walk it all the way to the back. When you get to your number 7 slat, I call it seat slat, there's going to be like a 1-inch space, right, where this ends and the spacer begins. That's there by design because the tail of the back slips right in. Excuse me. Every hole is drilled. So even though the seat slats are 24 inches wide, excuse me, oh my gosh, a lot of sawdust in here. Even though they're 24 inches across the same board, I still want you to put it in the same pattern. So looking at the chair underneath, I'm going to label everything right to left, okay, looking at the chair. So the numbers 1 through 7 underneath. So that's the first step, putting your seat slats together, along with the spacer, of course. And then the front legs go on second. So lag bolts go outside in, then it goes washer, lock nut. You're going to need a 9/16 socket to make life easier for you. Then the second piece, the third piece then will be your back legs. Now the back legs are different than the front legs because they're going to have a slant, right? And in between the two legs, and the back leg goes on the inside of the leg, I mean of the seats of the 2x6. There's a 21-inch 1x4 board. Again, it's going to be labeled underneath, so look for that. And the only thing when you're putting this together is be mindful not, and you're going to have, or I will have pencil mark here, or here and here, where to align this, right? As well as pencil mark on the inside, so you know where this should align. So the seat slat, right? The reason you don't want it to go all the way to the top, because if you do, when this sits flat on the top of the back leg, it'll bump it up. So there's probably like a 1/4 inch difference. So just be mindful of that. That's your third step. Then the final one is going to be, or excuse me, your fourth step is going to be your front arms. So again, look for the labels right and left. And then one thing about the front arms, the arms, now right now I have them countersunk and flush to the top. If some people like this look, you know, everything is super flush because it's countersunk, that's fine. But I'll also include 8 wood plugs along with sawdust. So if you wish, for these front two on the right and left of the arms, if you want to use wood plugs, drill them as deep as you can, fill it with sawdust followed by the wood plug. All right, the thing that I'm not going to recommend, I only have 8 wood plugs, 2 for each side of the arms, and then 2 wood plugs for the back spacer on each side. I always leave the back screw, it's a 2-inch Torx screw, just flush in the event that you need to take it apart or it breaks or something, it's easy to pull off instead of digging out because of the angle of the back. And then the last piece is your entire back, which is one solid piece. You'll have 6 2-inch screws in the back. So again, use the same holes, center it. And then underneath on the chair, there's going to be, each one is sunk or screwed into the back brace. And that's just to keep it from shifting when people sit in and out. And then the last thing is to tighten it. And then you have a solid chair. One of the things, now of course this is up on a table, but I get really good feedback on the pitch and the angle of the chair. So it's modeled after an Adirondack style chair, but it's not like it at all, only because it's not low and it doesn't tip you back. So I get very good feedback on how comfortable it is. But that's pretty much the walkthrough of the chair. The hardware, I use coated Torx screws, right? So in the kit that you'll get with all the hardware was going to be a Torque bit. It's a T25 in case you have an extra one. But everything is countersunk. Just go to the top of each of the boards on everything on the chair. That's all as far as you need to go. And let's see. That's about it. I'm going to put a couple extra business cards in there. I appreciate the business and definitely get the word out. Let people know where you got this chair. If you have any questions or concerns, I'm certainly open for feedback. And if you need help, Skype, you could call me 612-423-1468. Yes, and please send me a picture once Peter gets this chair. I'd love to post that on my social media that this chair went to Peter Ward. So anyway, there it is. It's pretty simple, I promise. It's simple tools. If you can just kind of look at this video, you get the concept of how to put the chair together. So it's going to come in 2 separate boxes. The back will be in one piece, in one box, and then the rest of the seats and the lumbar will be on another box. It'll be cellophane wrapped to keep it from slipping within the box, but so you'll get a lot of cellophane, that's for sure. But okay, so there's my chair. Enjoy. Thank you so much. And I'll get this video out and I will text you a confirmation number of the tracking number once I put that in the mail at noon tomorrow. So again, thank you. Enjoy your day.